I've been approached numerous times to become part of a union. And every time I've been approached, after researching how I might benefit from becoming a union member, I've decided in all instances not to sign any petition to join a union. They're trying to say we can get you a better hourly rate, we can get you better vacation times, we can get you better benefits. And you know, at that time for a lot of employees that was an issue. But I think in the end, after I looked at everything, they couldn't guarantee it. All they could really, in the end, what they said they could do was negotiate the contract for us. And they could become the middleman. And I think that's what really turned me off more than anything. I didn't want some other bureaucracy negotiating for me. They couldn't guarantee what the plan was going to be, or they couldn't guarantee the wage. They couldn't guarantee that if we did decide and did sign the petition that I'd have a job or other people would have a job.
At that time when I was involved with the union, we were given a lot of promises. Higher wages, better benefits. I never saw them. As an individual, I never saw the benefits to it. I seemed to have more problems with the people that were in charge of the union. The shop stewards were very intimidating. But as I quickly found out, they ruled a lot of what my job was. I didn't have the freedom of doing my job to the best of my ability. What I felt was that the union really just accepted mediocrity. They didn't ask for you to excel in the job, they just asked for you to be a body there and pay your dues.
I actually found out that one of my co-workers had went into my cubicle space, measured my cubicle space, actually made a grievance because I was a new guy on board, and he was a little upset at the fact that the space that I had acquired, being that I wasn't one of the senior members. And they took that to arbitration. They actually made me move out the cubicle space to give it to someone more senior than myself.
I do feel that I have an advantage with Nielsen management because I think Nielsen pays for your production. You're rewarded on your performance, and it's not based on how long I've worked here with Nielsen. It's based on the performance that I've provided, and that's a wonderful thing.
One of the things that needs to be known is the fact that you do give up some of your rights because of the fact that you are part of that union. You have to flow the way that the union goes, regardless of your own personal feelings or not.
I would say that you in a sense, kind of lose certain freedoms, I guess, being a part of a union. Freedoms that you would normally have.
Well, right now, I think that Nielsen is a company that wants to hear the employees' concerns, is always open to suggestions, does whatever can be done to meet the needs of the organization as well as those of the employee.
The union will promise you everything to get you to join with them, to get you to pay dues. They're in the business to make money. That's why they exist.
We have wasted over $600 a year for the past 7.5 years paying union dues. And we could have taken that money and used it on something else.
Obviously, union dues are what drive the union financially. The people who are in the union, who are strictly administrators, union presidents, the guys who don't have a line job with the telephone company, they sit in the union office. They invest that money. That's your money paying their salary and their benefits, their office costs, their building costs.
You pay out money for a union. You're required to pay union dues. And the experience that we've had is that we paid union dues for 7.5 years, and not once have we utilized the union. If you're a good working employee with good work ethics, you don't need a union to be involved.
Yeah, we would have the union dues taken out of our paycheck. I know that they were going someplace, but I didn't really see what their effect was with my job. I mean, I knew the company was taking care of me, but I didn't really feel like the union was actually taking care of me.
Realize that the union is doing this basically for the union. This is an untapped source for them, and they want to be in every market if possible because, like I said, that's more bennies in their pocket as well. You can find yourself in situations such as if the union intends to strike, you can find yourself being forced into a strike whether you agree with the reasons why they're striking or not.
Well, it was like when we showed up for work, the picket lines were out there, and there was a lot of name-calling, a lot of bullying to make sure that you didn't cross the line. And it was intimidating.
Some of the experiences that I've had with a union are strikes, being involved with 2 strikes and losing wages for 2 days for one strike period, and then for another strike period, a loss of wages for 19 days. Actually, the first 5 days were a complete loss of wages, and the remainder time it was less than 10% of a weekly salary, which had a big impact on our family livelihood.
One of the other downfalls of going to a union, besides them representing you as an individual, if they make a decision that you're not completely on board with, you don't have a choice. For example, when we went out on strike as members of the union back in the mid-'70s, we didn't have a choice whether we could come to work or not. It was very difficult. We didn't get paid. We had no pay.
No, I was not in favor of this. This is something that you had to do. If you're part of the union, you have to go on strike and support the union and fight for what the union wants you to fight for, whether it's a belief of yours or not, simply because you've joined the union.
You need to know the whole story, not just the union's version of the story. That you need to do your investigative research and also understand that the union is really, although they may portray to be your friend or they're there for you, realize that while they're doing it is, again, it's a moneymaker for them as well.
It's coming down to where you have to decide whether you're for a union or against a union. And if you choose to go with a union, you have to keep in mind there's always the possibility of strike and losing your wages. You will pay union dues. You may be a new employee with the company and have the freedom of getting a first request for a vacation. That would change. It could go to a seniority basis. Your overall salary could, year to year, end up being better for you with the increases in not having to pay union dues. It's just a better environment. I can't express enough how happy you would be without the union. You don't need a union.
When it comes time to decide that the union, keep in mind the union may not be telling you everything, that there is other things out there that take a look at things that have happened in the past with other unions, things that have happened, experiences with employees that were a part of the union. So when it comes time to vote, just keep that in mind and take a look at all of the information before you actually make that decision.
Be sure you hear all the facts and know all the facts, and don't assume that the information you receive from the union is always accurate.
Especially with this union. Go out there and find out as much as you can, and then strongly think about what you're giving up. Because like I said, you've got to do the numbers, and the numbers, I'm pretty sure if you do them correctly, you'll find out that in our behalf, the union is not the best bet for us.